Good morning, I'm Kenneth Moten.
And I'm Janae Norman. Here are the top 5 things to know this Friday morning. Number 1, Hurricane Dorian is now a Category 2 storm.
17.6 million Americans are on alert and at risk of taking a huge hit from Dorian. The National Hurricane Center says it's on track to become a potentially catastrophic Category 4 by the time it makes landfall. They say it's expected to pack winds of about 140 miles an hour and could produce a life-threatening storm surge along the East Coast. Number 2, President Trump's personal assistant and so-called gatekeeper has resigned.
Madeline Westerhout has worked for the president from the start of his administration. According to reports, she resigned after the president learned she shared information about his family and Oval Office operations during an off-the-record dinner with reporters. On to number 3 now, former FBI Director James Comey under fire.
The Justice Department report finds that James Comey violated policy. The Inspector General sharply criticizes him for providing memos about his interactions with the president to the media. He says that Comey set a dangerous example. The watchdog office also says that Comey did not leak classified information. Comey will not be prosecuted.
Number 4, a popular e-cigarette maker is reportedly under investigation as more health officials sound the alarm about vaping.
The Wall Street Journal reports the Federal Trade Commission is investigating Juul. Federal officials are reportedly looking into whether or not the company engaged in deceptive marketing, including targeting minors. Juul is not commenting on the investigation, saying in a statement that it is transparent with any government agency.
In the meantime, doctors in Colorado are reporting 2 new cases of severe lung illness reported related to vaping. One lawmaker wants Congress to ban the sale of vaping products to anyone under 21. And finally, number 5, Jeopardy host Alex Trebek is back on the job.
Trebek was, of course, diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in March. In a new video, Trebek gave fans a health update, did some push-ups, and he also teased Jeopardy's upcoming season.
I've gone through a lot of chemotherapy, and thankfully that is now over. I'm on the mend, and that's all I can hope for right now. We have some exciting things coming up, and I can't wait to share them with all of you. Let me tell you, it's going to be a good year.
Ooh. The video also features Trebek here. You hear him singing, celebrating his 79th birthday on the job. He went back to work on his birthday in July. The 36th season of Jeopardy begins September 9th. Mark your calendars.
So this provides all the trending stories for you from ABC News. What is, don't forget the ABC News app.
Oh!
There we go. She wants to start off the Labor Day weekend. Let's get right to the big story, the growing threat from Hurricane Dorian as the storm gains strength overnight.
Dorian has been upgraded to a Category 2 hurricane, and it's now on track to become what forecasters call a potentially catastrophic Category 4 by the time it makes landfall.
This new image from space shows the size of the storm, which is chugging over warmer Atlantic waters east of the Bahamas.
ABC's Inez de la Cuetara joins us now with the scramble to prepare.
Good morning, guys. Well, still lots of uncertainty with regards to where the storm will hit and how strong it will be. But if forecasters are right, Dorian could wind up being the strongest hurricane to hit Florida's East Coast in close to 3 decades.
Forecasters taking no chances when it comes to Dorian. Hurricane hunters from NOAA flying right into the storm to try and figure out just where it will make landfall.
All the data that comes from our aircraft is sent real time to the National Hurricane Center.
The Category 2 storm is growing stronger and could become a Cat 4 by the time it hits the mainland, somewhere between Melbourne and Miami. Close to 17 million people along Florida's East Coast now bracing for a strong storm surge, winds of over 130 miles per hour and over a foot of rain. Boarding up windows and scrambling for supplies, gas stations running out of fuel.
Just getting prepared before the storm comes.
Just want to protect against what's coming.
President Trump watching closely, canceling an upcoming trip to Poland to monitor the situation.
It's something very important for me to be here. The storm looks like it could be a very, very big one indeed.
In addition to declaring a state of emergency, Florida's governor is asking President Trump to declare a pre-landfall disaster for all of Florida's 67 counties. That would free up federal resources to help with any of Dorian's possible effects. Janae and Kenneth,
All right, Inez, thank you so much. And Florida residents are scrambling to prepare for Hurricane Dorian's arrival, with forecasters warning that 5 to 15 inches of rain could set off dangerous flash floods. Residents are stocking up on as many sandbags as they can.
Air travelers can begin using those travel waivers issued by major airlines starting today. They will allow passengers to rebook flights without change fees. As a precaution, the military is relocating planes from MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa to McConnell Air Force Base in Kansas. And ABC's Gio Benitez is there in Miami with more on the rush to get ready.
We're inside a Home Depot right now, and you can just see how busy it is here. There are so many people buying plywood that they constantly have to just restock these shelves. In fact, if you look over this shoulder here, you're going to see some shelves that are just empty right now. Let's take a look at what we are seeing across this state, especially those gas lines, because we are starting to see gas stations with gas lines, long lines there across this state. We are also seeing that some gas stations are running out of gas. Take a look at this, because we also have people that are buying supplies at stores. Of course, hot commodity here, water, water, water. So many people are just looking for those bottles of water. Right now, it is still possible to get your hands on bottles of water, but no doubt about it, they are going fast. And people are buying sandbags because they want to make sure that they can protect their homes, they can protect their property from any possible flooding. In fact, we saw a guy here who bought 26 bags of sandbags here. Listen, there's no doubt about it that people here in Florida are listening to that message from authorities to start preparing right now. It's just so important. That storm may be days away, but preparing now when you can access all of these supplies and gas and water, that's what's really important. I'm Gio Benitez here in Miami for ABC News.
President Trump canceled his trip to Poland to stay in the U.S. and monitor Dorian.
Vice President Mike Pence is going in his place. The president owns several properties along Florida's eastern coast. His resorts, Mar-a-Lago and Doral, are currently in the storm's path. The president tweeted a video message saying that Dorian looks powerful and could be a monster.
We're ready. We have the best people in the world ready, and they're going to help you. We're shipping food, we're shipping water. But it may be that you're going to evacuate. We're going to see what happens. Be aware and be safe, and God bless you.
All Mar-a-Lago employees except security have been sent home until the storm passes. The club is closed for the off-season.
Now to some news breaking overnight. Authorities have arrested a 19-year-old New York man for allegedly planning an ISIS-inspired attack. He allegedly exchanged messages with an undercover agent saying he wanted to commit a knife attack in Queens. Authorities say he ordered the weapon through law enforcement and was arrested as he tried to pick it up. The suspect is due in federal court later today.
Former Defense Secretary James Mattis has given a new interview. He says he owes the president his silence, but not forever. He declined to discuss the president's character with The Atlantic, citing a duty of silence. Mattis says it's wrong to endanger the country by attacking the commander-in-chief, but he suggested that may soon change. Mattis resigned in December after the president announced plans to withdraw troops from Syria.
I'm sure that book drop is just moments away. The 10 participants in the next Democratic primary debate are set, and so are their podium positions. Former Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Elizabeth Warren have center stage. To Biden's right will be Senator Bernie Sanders, Mayor Pete Buttigieg, and Senators Cory Booker and Amy Klobuchar. To Senator Warren's left, fellow Senator Kamala Harris, Andrew Yang, Beto O'Rourke, and Julian Castro.
The debate takes place in Houston on Thursday, September 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on ABC.
Alabama's governor is apologizing for wearing blackface during a skit while a student at Auburn University in the 60s.
Kay Ivey says she does not remember the incident, but was recently made aware of it. She's offering heartfelt apologies for the pain and embarrassment this causes. Some Democratic lawmakers are condemning Ivey's participation in the skit. In Los Angeles, a Coast Guard ship is pulling into port with a massive haul of contraband. 2,800 pounds of cocaine were seized by the ship's crew, which had been patrolling waters off the coast of Mexico and Central America. Authorities say they've also detained a handful of suspected smugglers. Estimated street value of the drugs is worth upwards of $38 million. Research on human sexuality has found there's no single gene for sexual orientation.
Scientists at Harvard and MIT found that no so-called gay gene exists, and instead lots of genetic differences influence sexual behavior. The researchers compare the situation to factors determining a person's height in which multiple genetic and environmental factors play a role. Coming up, new developments in Hong Kong.
Student leader arrested and a protest called off. We'll go across the pond for more in just a moment.
But first, the urgent warning for students going back to school and their parents when we come back. Now to the close call for a little girl at her bus stop. Her mother watched as a car blew through the stop sign, nearly hitting the girl.
And this morning, that mother now has an urgent warning for other parents.
That's Melina.
An excited mother waiting for her daughter after her first day riding the bus to and from school in Houston.
There goes Melina.
The bus's arm swinging out to signal stop to oncoming traffic. But then this terrifying moment.
No, wait, stop!
A car appearing to blow right past that sign seconds before that little girl tried to cross the road.
If she would have taken one more step, my daughter's life would have been over.
You can see the stop sign extending out from the side of the stopped bus moments before the car races past it. The girl's mother says she got the license plate, but says police told her they couldn't do anything. So she posted the video to social media to warn other parents, which soon went viral.
They don't even stop, they don't slow down or anything. And I just screamed, this is something no parent should have to witness.
A 2018 survey of school bus drivers in 38 states and Washington, D.C. found that nearly 84,000 vehicles passed their buses illegally on a single day. Melina's mother hopes her video serves as a warning to both parents and to drivers.
We don't want anyone to be murdered or to have a life taken by accident. We need to watch out for our children, and we have to protect our children. Our children are our future.
Such heart-stopping video there. And school districts across the nation are really trying to make bus stops safer. New York will soon add stop arm cameras to school buses, and that's to catch drivers who fail to stop for those buses.
Yeah, just terrifying video there. And breaking overnight, a prominent Hong Kong student leader has been arrested. Police say Joshua Wong is being investigated for his role in an unauthorized protest in June. That arrest comes ahead of another large pro-democracy protest planned for tomorrow. So let's go across the pond now to Jennifer Eccleston in the London Bureau for more. Good morning, Jennifer. So we know that this isn't the first time Wong has been arrested.
No, and we also know that tomorrow's protest, that major pro-democracy protest, has now been canceled by authorities. They're fearing massive crowds, and police denied permission, citing public safety concerns. In a press conference that took place just moments ago, police said those arrested faced up to 5 years in jail if found guilty of illegally gathering. That rally was set to take place, like I said, on Saturday, on a key political anniversary, one that symbolizes the protesters' core issue, that China is eroding the city-state's independence and democracy. It would have marked the 13th consecutive weekend of protests. And as you mentioned earlier, it's another setback for the movement. Just hours ago, several prominent activists taken into police custody, accused of joining illegal protests and encouraging others to do so. Still, activists are appealing to followers across social media, telling them not to be afraid of political violence and fear tactics from mainland China and to continue the fight for their lives. Now, Beijing has repeatedly condemned the protesters and described their actions as close to terrorism.
Oh, and Jennifer, moving on to Europe, where a new report shows a surge in measles cases. That's something we've been dealing with a lot over here on this side of the pond, but Europe is dealing with a lot more.
An alarming uptick. Yeah, measles has returned to 4 European nations previously seen as free of the illness. The disease is no longer considered eradicated in Albania, the Czech Republic, Greece, and here in the UK. A World Health Organization scientists had some fiery words for those countries and others, saying they are backsliding and on the wrong track. Now, globally, measles cases are almost 3 times what they were in 2018. And health experts warn that lies about the measles vaccine and misinformation campaigns on social media have allowed the illness to spread in certain areas. They say it's an alarming and possibly deadly trend.
Wow, incredible there. And let's lighten this up a little bit, right? A new statue of President Trump has been erected in Slovenia, the native country of First Lady Melania Trump. But not everyone is happy about it, right?
Yeah, it's popped up in his wife's home country of Slovenia. It's a wooden depiction, and it shows him wearing a blue suit and a red tie, and he's striking a pose that's reminiscent of New York's Statue of Liberty. I don't know about that. But the local artist wants the artwork, as he calls it, to encourage discussion about populist politicians. And get this, inside the 26-foot-tall President Trump is a mechanism that allows its facial expressions to change from very friendly during the week to really scary over the weekend. That's according to the artist. The Trump Tower follows a sculpture of Melania carved out of a tree trunk on the outskirts of her hometown. Here she's dressed in a blue coat with a club-like hand gesturing to the skies some sort, but some residents dubbed it a disgrace, and it looked more like a Smurfette than the First Lady. Oh. As for the new Trump statue, well, one resident tried to ram it with his tractor, and another said it was a waste of wood.
What is happening over there?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Slovenia.
quite some artwork over there. You said artwork as the artist calls it. That was really funny, Jennifer. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Let's check our notifications now, starting with a little league football team. We'll call them Little Giants, having some trouble with their big entrance.
Get it,
Can we? Okay,
right.
let's finally get through it there.
Gotta put a little slit in it
Let's
first.
hope their game went better.
Yeah, no kidding. And Nintendo has another wild ride for Mario lovers. It's called Mario Kart Tour. It'll be played on both Android and iOS devices. The game features race courses through some of the world's greatest cities, including New York, Tokyo, Paris. Racing begins at the end of the month. And our question of the day.
It is.
Which character is your go-to in Mario Kart? Yoshi? Toad? Peach? Luigi? Tell us in the comments. Tweet us at ABC News Live. What's yours?
Let us know. That dragon thing or something.
Mine's Yoshi.
Okay, Yoshi. Hey, we have an update on yesterday's question of the day. A New Hampshire woman will get to keep that vanity plate that told the story of her life as a parent of young kids.
For 15 years, Wendy Auger's tag has read P before we go. This month, she received a letter from the state DMV saying she'd have to give it up because it contained a phrase relating to sexual or excretory acts or functions.
New Hampshire's Governor Chris Sununu eventually stepped in to urge the agency to let her keep the plate. The DMV agreed.
Live free or die, huh?
Governor had to step in there. It's nice to have some friends in those high places in the executive mansion.
That's right.
Hey, next to a celeb who's using her influence as a force for good.
Singer Casey Musgrave has racked up quite a bit of collection. So she was in LA. She needed a 1-hour photo. Went to this man's 1-hour photo shop that was losing business. Decided to shout him out with a whole bunch of pictures. That's Tom. So she's posed at some of his glamour shop backdrops, posted those on Instagram, and Tom has a whole bunch of followers now, thousands on Instagram.
He's there in Koreatown, 1-hour photo. That's a quick photo. Do people still go to 1-hour photo places?
Probably not, because they just have them in their phone.
Right, but sometimes you might want to, again, print them out.
That's our second question of the day. When's the last time you printed out pictures?
And put them up in your home. Do you have no pictures up in your home?
We do, and that was the last time we printed out
blank
pictures.
Walls. Like a mental institution.
There are also art. There's art.
Oh, okay.
Him. It's blank walls or pictures of myself.
That's it.
And it's certainly admirable to go small in your effort to go green.
But clearly there are limits for some of us, especially if you happen to be 7 feet tall.
That is Shaquille O'Neal, hysterically trying to cram himself into behind the wheel of one of those smart cars. Roughly the size of a bugaboo.
What is a bugaboo?
I thought it was the Destiny Child song.
Yes. She don't want no bugaboo.
Nope.
Or how did the song go?
I don't know, because that's not the title of it either.
I know.
But it's a bugaboo, a bugaboo. Maybe that is. I want to put your number on the call block.
Yep.
Have AOL make my email stop, because you a bugaboo. You bugging what, you bugging who, you bugging me, and don't you say it ain't cool.
There it is. But I still don't know how it relates to that story.
And I don't know the name of the song either. Coming up, what some teachers are doing to make the back-to-school season easier for their students.
Their inspirational messages and the unlikely place they're popping up after this.
Here's what to watch out for today. Hurricane Dorian is gaining a lot of strength, expected to become a major hurricane before making landfall. The window to gather all storm supplies is closing. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis will give an update on preparations for Dorian's landfall this morning at 9 o'clock Eastern.
2 major events have been changed because of Dorian, including a Rolling Stones show. It was set to take place tomorrow night at the Hard Rock Stadium in the Miami area, but has now been moved to tonight at 6 p.m. And the Florida State-Boise State football game on Saturday has been moved to Tallahassee at noon. FSU's season opener was originally set to take place in Jacksonville.
President Trump is scheduled to have lunch with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo today before leaving the White House for Camp David this afternoon. We will be there live. And Marshmello and Kane Brown are ready to close out the GMA Summer Concert Series this morning in Central Park. Watch right here on ABC News Live or in virtual reality on the Melody VR app.
Plus, don't forget to tune into the debrief for an update on all our top stories and the briefing room for a breakdown of the latest headlines in politics.
Finally, from us on this Holiday Friday, a rather unique new feature for an elementary school in Wisconsin.
It was created by the school's teachers over the summer, all at the request of their students. Emily Matesic of our Green Bay station has the details.
When students return to Huntley Elementary School in Appleton next week, they'll notice something a little different in their school bathrooms. The changes came after the students requested them.
Our school counselor had done a student perception survey, and the kids came back with what they liked about school and what they thought they needed to have spruced up. And interestingly enough, they said our bathrooms needed some sprucing up. So we did this because this is what the students wanted.
Inspired by the kids' request, a group of teachers put in the time and effort to add inspirational messages to the bathroom stall doors in 8 of the school's bathrooms.
Bathrooms are kind of boring, so I don't blame them for wanting us to make them more inviting and cool.
The positive potties have messages like, be the reason someone smiles today. Don't forget to be awesome and have courage to be kind. The different and sometimes elaborate designs not only add a pop of color to the bland bathrooms, but they're meant to impact the students' attitudes as well.
The kids, we want them to feel safe and happy and engaged in school in any setting they are, and we want them to know that they're valued and we appreciate them and that they're all, worthwhile, and so we wanted to come up with some little inspirational sayings for them.
While the teachers who worked on these stalls are excited for their message, they're anxious to see their students' reactions.
I'm excited for the students to see them. I hope that they feel good when they walk into the bathroom and are just reminded how much they're loved each day.
Something that's hard not to feel when in the lively loo.
Weekend starts now.
A lot of things going on this weekend. It's Labor Day weekend. We're tracking Dorian.
Lots of people traveling.
So many people traveling.
Be safe.
Please do. And we will be back on Monday with the latest updates on Dorian.
Yep. See you then.
Have a good one.